Joe Biden, Joe Biden, Joe Biden, Joe Biden. This message from Muhammad Khanaqin for President Khorasan for you, Joe Biden. You go check up in the doctor. You have 2 years. Your life is 2 years. 2 years from now, from today to 2 years or 1 year and
Okay, so who is this Joe Biden guy and why is he important? Okay, so Joe Biden is the president of the United States, and one time he was born, he had a pretty good football career. He went to college where he studied law and he was an attorney guy for a while, and he ran to be senator in Delaware because Delaware kind of looks like him, and he beat this guy, even though everyone said that's cheating. You can't do that, and he became one of the youngest senators, and everything was good, and it was very tragic, and his wife and daughter, died in a car accident. That was a bad start. Back to the funny jokes. He was a chairman. He's now the chairman. The chairman. Chairman. Yeah, he rode the train back and forth every day. Not to see his kids because trains are awesome, but he hated buses. Buses are stupid. He did a lot of stuff in foreign affairs. One time he was talking to this war criminal guy and he said, "You are a war criminal." And the war criminal said, "War criminal? More like war invisible." Then disappeared. He said, "Okay, I love JFK. I'm kind of like JFK, and I should run for president like he did." But then, he made a mistake, and he plagiarized the speech. And because he did not use NordVPN, he got in trouble.
I've done some dumb things, and I'll do dumb things again. He was given an F.
Anyways, then Joe Biden had like 2 brain aneurysms, but he kept working because he was a tough cookie. And he got to yell at people at the school green table. He's called a judge. And he named his new daughter Blazer Biden to commend his love of Sonic. And by now, Joe Biden had been in politics a very long time. These were a bunch of presidents. And when President Fern was president, they wouldn't let him go outside, by the way. When President Fern was president, he said, "Oh, you know what I love? I really, really love war. Yeehaw!" He had a new crime bill. This is different, and he hired 100,000 new cops. It's not a joke number, and he hired all these cops not because of crime, but because he needed people to eat at these thousands of new donut places he had added to Delaware, which were very, very controversial, and he did them as like a strategy to get him to a higher place in politics because he knew that Obama loved donuts, and maybe if he added donuts, he'd pick him as vice president. This worked.
We went for 2 reasons. One, to bring Osama bin Laden to the gates of hell.
Okay, here's a picture of Joe Biden with future president Chris Pratt. Yeehaw. And here is present, past, and future Joe Biden. There's a clone army of Joe Bidens they're working on. So if Joe Biden ever dies, they can replace him with one of the clones. And Joe Biden is very Catholic, which is good because his son died, and that was also very sad. Joe Biden's life is too sad to joke about a lot of the time. And he didn't run because of that for president, and Donald Trump became president, and he doesn't like Donald Trump. And he could have won because he's more of a woman than Hillary Clinton, but he ran the next time. So Joe Biden chose Kamala Harris to be his vice president, the daughter of famous LGBT rights activist Alex Jones. Kamala as VP helps him with the being white and also with the allegations of sexual misconduct. And he went against a more radical politician named Bernie Sanders, who was too radical. And to appeal to Latino voters, he said, "Hey, Choco Tacos," and he was going to bring back Despacito. Yeah, he said that. I didn't say that about Latino voters, and I don't remember exactly what happened in the election, but I do know that everyone was very friendly and cooperative and understanding and didn't riot. And Joe Biden became the president. He said the soup of the nation's at stake, and he changed the national flag to this. And now we're in modern day. And what about the gas prices? And what about Afghanistan? And what about Ukraine? And what about the infrastructure? And what about that there inflation? And what about the stimulus checks? And what about the economy? And what about the border? And what will happen now that the House has? What about the planet? And what about Joe Biden getting rid of Roe versus Wade because he's Catholic? And what about the Hunter Biden laptop? And what about those Joe Biden got leaked? Okay, man, we're not going to talk about those because I don't understand politics, man. Okay, here's the truth. This video is not supposed to be long or serious or important. It's supposed to be like 2 minutes long, but I got caught up in it. It's too. I forgot to mention that Joe Biden tried to, quote, fix this Asian little girl's eyes. It's probably important.
Days. He's going to let the big banks once again write their own rules. Unchain Wall Street. They're going to put you all back in chains.
Hey everyone, I'm Joe Biden's husband.
Only arrest for the purpose of dealing with a felony that's committed, and I don't count drunk driving as a felony. Hey, Joss, how you doing, man? Chuck Graham, state senator's here. Chuck, stand up. Chuck, come and see. Oh, God love you. What am I talking about? I tell you what, you're making everybody else stand up, though, pal. Thank you very, very much. I tell you what, stand up for Chuck. To keep alive the truth and honor of the Holocaust, horror of the Holocaust. Honor. Thank you, Dr. Pepper, and thank you, Chancellor, or Dr. Paper, and thank you, Chancellor. The first thing I would do is make sure we pass the Violence Against Women Act reauthorization, which I wrote. And so we have to just change the culture, period, and keep punching at it and punching at it and punching at it. It will be a big, no, I really mean it.